So Lee, good to see you again. I know what your role is and what you do at Fastly. Can you tell everybody else?
Yeah, love to. So first of all, thanks for having me. I head up strategic partnerships at Fastly, which basically means I spend a lot of time talking to you and other folks at Google and other key partners that we spend a lot of time in market with, and focused on going to market with you guys, right? So how do we jointly sell solutions? How do we take customers like Spotify and Vimeo and the New York Times and turn that into giant wins that we can really get out in the market and celebrate together?
Excellent. We're seeing a lot of traction, a lot of really big wins from some really big logos. Before I get into that, can you tell the audience, so what is Fastly?
That's a great question. So we announced today a bunch of new features and a bunch of new products. 3 specifically: our web application firewall, our load balancer, and our image optimization service. And those 3 together, kind of built on top of our platform, bring out some of the things that we really like to think of as the edge cloud, right? So a traditional CDN just delivers static objects. It pushes content from wherever it might be in GCP to users all over the world. In an edge cloud scenario, you're really looking for functions and features in your CDN that are beyond just a traditional CDN, and much more akin to sort of the analogy of, if you take a traditional data center, right, and you move all of those core functions out of the data center into the cloud, into Google Cloud Platform, right? Compute, storage, data stores, databases, big data movers, right? All of those things have moved from the data center into Google Cloud. That leaves a bunch of hardware sitting there that used to fulfill a function inside the data center that you really need to move out to the cloud as well to match it, right? Routing, load balancing, firewalls, caching, and really dynamic delivery, right? So all of those things in a traditional CDN world are relatively hard to conquer, but on a software-based platform like Fastly, it really changes the equation, right? You can move those core edge cloud functions or edge functions in your data center and move that to the edge of the cloud to someplace like Fastly. So that's what we do.
Interesting. Some new developments there as well. You mentioned a software-defined platform. I remember, a bit of trivia, your first customer in EMEA, you actually brought physical boxes on United Airlines.
Yeah, we did. So the founding story, the genesis story of Fastly is that Artur Bergman, our CEO, was the CTO at Wikia. And when he was at Wikia, he had a need for a CDN that could actually instantly purge, which was one of the founding tenets, right? When you cache and validate something with us on our network, it disappears from the network in 150 milliseconds or less globally. Completely different than any other traditional CDN, where it might take hours, minutes, if you're lucky, a few seconds, but 150 milliseconds or less was completely unheard of 6 years ago when we were founded. So Artur decided that everybody had told him it was impossible, and therefore it was something that he was going to go do. So he got on a plane, put 2 boxes with a bunch of software on it, flew into London, business class, with his server sitting right next to him, installed them in a data center, and voila, Fastly was born.
Brilliant. United Airlines?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was United.
We won't get into that.
No, we're not going to touch that.
Excellent. Very good. So you mentioned some of the joint customers we have. Can you give us an example of one of those customers and some of the benefits they're seeing from using Fastly and GCP?
Yeah, so we actually, there's a great article on data center knowledge today, put out talking about the New York Times election night coverage, right, which is a joint customer of ours out of the States, obviously. And they leverage log streaming and BigQuery, but also GCE, Google Cloud Storage, a ton of compute, and that's all fronted by Fastly. And we do all the load balancing across their multi-cloud solution by routing traffic to the right places for them at the right times, right? And we take all the front-end load, right? So when there's the 8,000% traffic spike that they saw in the U.S. election night coverage, we handle all of that, and their origin services actually stayed flat. And that was a dramatic difference from the 2012 election, where they actually went down. And that was on their own colo, right? And this is a story that Nick Rockwell, the CTO of the New York Times, has told at Altitude, where you guys are a joint sponsor, right? Our customer event. And I'm sure he's going to tell that sometime soon at a Google event. But it's been really tremendous, seeing customers like the New York Times, like Vimeo, like 7 Digital, The Guardian. And there's a ton of joint customers that we have where we've seen tremendous success there, and Spotify certainly ranks among them.
Wow, interesting. So, for a company where their business is purely online, well, mainly online and increasingly going online, downtime, it's just not acceptable. So you're saying they can reduce their egress cost and they can guarantee reliability by using Fastly.
Yeah, so and that's a great point, Karol. I think one of the things that we're a part of in the Google Cloud ecosystem is the CDN Interconnect program, right? So if you're just pushing traffic off your GCE instance or your cloud storage, you pay 8 cents a gig on the outbound. With CDN Interconnect, you pay 4 cents, right? And so that goes to any CDN Interconnect partner. Fastly adds to that some of our software-defined networking features, one of which is Origin Shield, which request collapses all of the asks for a given asset across the internet down to one POP, and then we guarantee delivery between that POP and Google, so you know that traffic is going across that CDN interconnect. So you're paying 4 cents a gig, and you're also dramatically reducing how much traffic you actually need to send out to the internet by caching with Fastly.
Wow, super interesting. So tell me this, over the next couple of years, how do you see cloud evolving and Fastly evolving alongside?
Wow. So Gartner says that $1 trillion is going to get shifted to cloud spending, right, across all IT sectors. Forrester says it's about 231 billion just to focus around internet related traffic. So I think that piece of the market is what Google and Fastly address together. And I think as that continues to grow, the demand around cloud is not just going to be for the services that Google Cloud offers, but also the things that Fastly adds on top of that, which is what we were talking about earlier around moving things more and more logic to the edge, right? We're starting to offer some edge compute features. We're starting to offer things like load balancing and content-aware load balancing. And those things stacked together mean that businesses that are looking for the improved agility and the improved cost control and the amazing ability that Google Cloud provides to scale instantly, they're going to need a partner that gives them that ability to scale instantly as they're seeing traffic spikes, not just workload spikes. So I think as those two things march on, I think we're going to end up working more and more together and more closely together, which I'm really looking forward to.
Excellent, me too. And then just finally, we have a great relationship together. I know there's a business relationship, there's a friendship relationship. We like hanging out. We drink beers together and have a good time. But also from a technology perspective, I think the technologies intersect so well, and they bring that 1 + 1 = 3. Can you tell us why Google Cloud Platform, as opposed to some of the other great clouds you work with?
At the end of the day, any great business, this is a personal philosophy of mine, but any great business boils down to the people, right? And I think in our experience, working with Googlers is just, there's a much more of an alignment and cultural mindset, right? We like to move fast. We're super scrappy together, right? In a lot of ways, we're both chasing an incumbent, and we're trying to overcome that incumbent. So we kind of have that same mentality of, look, we're in this to win, and there's some big dark horse out there that neither one of us likes, and we got to go beat them up. Now, it's a big market. There's plenty of room for everybody to play, and there's lots of co-opetition as well as cooperation. But we love working with Googlers, and we love particularly the technology integrations that we see with Google Cloud Platform. We've got logging integrations with you guys. We're working on marketplace integrations. There's all kinds of places where your open APIs on Cloud Platform and our API-based platform just connect together and work. And we're starting to build products on Google Cloud Platform. The image optimizer that we released today is actually built on top of Google Cloud Platform. So we leverage GCE, Compute Engine, and storage, and we're taking that data back for our customers into BigQuery to see what image optimizations and performance optimizations that they're getting from the services that we're offering, which we've built on top of Google Cloud Platform, right? So it should say something to you that not only are we deeply partnered, but we're actually building products on top of Cloud Platform in addition to working with you guys in market.
Brilliant. Not just a partnership, it's a customer relationship as well. Excellent. Lee, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Karol.
Cheers.